paramilitary fighters kidnapped children during their takeover of the Sudanese city of al-Fashir late last year and in other attacks in the Darfur region over the course of Sudan's civil war, in some cases killing their parents first. Have a look at this report.
Mecca Adam Abu Bakr is a refugee from Sudan. She is describing how she saw 4 children kidnapped by paramilitary fighters in Darfur in April last year. In this camp for displaced people near the Chad-Sudan border, Reuters spoke to others who had similar tales to tell. Their accounts about children of all ages being abducted by the Rapid Support Forces and other allied militias reveal a horror of Sudan's civil war that has not been reported by other media.
One was 10 years old, one was 11, one was 12, one was 13 years old. These are 4.
Witnesses also told us that fighters from the Rapid Support Forces took children during their violent takeover of the Sudanese city al-Fashir late last year. The war, a power struggle between the RSF and the Sudanese army, has killed tens of thousands of people and led to famine and disease. The United Nations describes the humanitarian crisis in Sudan as the largest in the world, and the stories of abduction and enslavement gathered by Reuters may violate international laws and may amount to war crimes and crimes against humanity, legal experts said. Abu Bakr says she fled a refugee camp called Zamzam with a group of other civilians. About 6 miles outside of town, they were stopped.
The RSF came with their cars, with people's livestock. They took the children to 10 people's livestock. They were in cars, and the children in front with the livestock. I don't know where they took the children, but I'm sure I saw it.
Reuters spoke to 26 witnesses in person or on the phone after they had fled to the North Darfur town of Tawila, or to eastern Chad. In total, they described 23 separate incidents since 2023, where at least 56 children were taken, the youngest 2 months old. Children who resisted were beaten with guns or held at gunpoint, witnesses said. In some instances, witnesses told us the paramilitary RSF fighters killed the parents first before taking their sons and daughters. In at least 4 cases, witnesses said fighters told them the children would be used as slaves to herd animals. Reuters could not determine how many children have been abducted and could not independently verify the accounts or trace what happened to them. The RSF did not respond to requests for comment about the reported abductions and abuse of minors and killing of their parents. Previously, it has denied deliberately targeting civilians and says it has placed fighters suspected of abuses under investigation. The Sudanese army said the witness accounts were consistent with the behavior of the so-called Janjaweed militias the RSF evolved from. An official from UN Children's Agency UNICEF said they were consistent with a broader pattern of grave violations against children in Sudan. None of the interviewees saw what happened after the children were taken, but one witness described hearing children crying for their parents at night while he was being held for ransom in the days after al-Fashir fell. Witnesses said the abductions happened in al-Fashir and along the road to Tawila, a town about 30 miles to the west, where the UN estimates about 650,000 people are sheltering, displaced by the war. Imam Ali said his family fled al-Fashir in March last year and was attacked by RSF fighters southeast of Tawila.
The RSF intercepted us. They came in a car. There were 2 civilians and 2 camel riders. We had some livestock. They took them with my brothers. They took them and we still don't know where they are. They took things in the cars and left. We don't know where they were heading.
The Janjaweed militias were accused of genocide in Darfur in the early 2000s. During that conflict, the militias abducted children and forced them to do domestic work, look after livestock, or work as sex slaves, activists and human rights groups said at the time. Fatima Yahya says she fled Nyala, the capital of South Darfur, in October 2023, and was stopped by a group of RSF fighters in a village called Karamaje on the way to al-Fashir.
At Karamaje, there were some families there with us. They took the children, 3 children from in front of us. They put them in a car. a closed car with RSF soldiers on either side and the children in the middle. They took them, and until now, we don't know what happened.